G'day everyone, I wanted to ask a very simple question for today's video, and that is there any chance that the Elder Scrolls 6, and with that we can talk about some other IP as well, but specifically Elder Scrolls 6 is the big one, right? Is there any chance that we see that on PlayStation, on PS5, PlayStation, Sony related in any way? A couple of weeks ago, everything was finalised finally with the Bethesda Xbox acquisition. It's no doubt one of the biggest, acquisitions deals in gaming history. And when it happened, the questions that have been circulating and the speculation that's been running wild this entire time has been constantly, what is going to appear on PlayStation, if anything? What degree are Microsoft going to remain exclusive with the Bethesda franchises? But Microsoft held this Bethesda roundtable where they discussed everything to do with the acquisition. Here are Phil Spencer's words. Obviously, I can't sit here and say that every Bethesda game is exclusive. We know that's not true. There's contractual obligations that we're going to see through, as we always do in every one of these instances. We have games that exist on other platforms, and we're going to go support those games on the platforms they're on. They're communities of players, we love those communities, and we'll continue to invest in them. And even in the future, there might be things that have contractual things or legacy on different platforms that will go do. But for an Xbox customer, the thing I want you to know is that this is about delivering great exclusive games for you that ship on platforms where Game Pass exists. But to answer the title of the video with that information out there, no, I think this statement makes it very clear that the Elder Scrolls 6 will not be coming to PlayStation, and, by extension, any future Fallout entries will not be coming to PlayStation as well. The Elder Scrolls 6 is the main one to bring up because obviously Starfield, we know, is coming next from Bethesda Game Studios, is a new IP, so that's a sort of a different conversation in reference to his statements about legacy content. There's zero legacy for Starfield on any other platform because it's never existed. And obviously we know of no future Fallout games at the moment, so the Elder Scrolls 6 is the obvious thing to talk about in that conversation there. He talks about continuing to support games on other platforms and where there is a legacy of a certain franchise on other platforms. He mentions contractual obligations. We know what he's talking about there. He's talking about Deathloop, which is coming exclusively timed to PS5 in May, and he's talking about Ghostwire Tokyo, which has also got a time exclusivity to PS5 in October this year. Both of those deals signed between Bethesda and Sony prior to the acquisition. Those are contractual obligations he's upholding. So in that sense, obviously, we know those things are coming to PlayStation first. Cool beans. But with the rest of Legacy, there are obvious answers, right? Fallout 76 is an online, continuously updated game. Plenty of expansions have been coming out. It's been improved upon and worked on by BGS. I think specifically the Austin studio for the past, 2.5 years since that game released. And I know just a few days ago they released their 2021 roadmap as well. That game is continuously getting updated. It obviously launched on PS4, and they're going to continue updating and supporting that game on PlayStation consoles, right? Same goes for, all their live service games. The Elder Scrolls Online is the other big one. There are continuous expansions every single year. That game apparently has a really big player base, and PlayStation is going to continue to be supported in that way. The question is, and I think the answer is no, spoiler alert, but does the Elder Scrolls franchise, does the Fallout franchise, and really, hey, any Bethesda franchise, we can sort of break them all down if we wanted to, but, Doom, Wolfenstein, do these count as legacy franchises, legacy games for the PlayStation brand? Because by Phil's, definition here, I guess that would mean that they would be interested in still releasing those games on PlayStation. The answer is no. No. The Elder Scrolls has no legacy on PlayStation. The Elder Scrolls did not come to PlayStation until Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion. It's always had a terrible history of running on PlayStation. Skyrim ran awfully on the PS3 notoriously. It wasn't actually until the PlayStation 4 where BGS sort of got their shit together with PlayStation consoles. And Fallout 4 ran totally fine. Fallout 76 ran, I guess, how it ran on every console, so I wouldn't really blame Sony for that one. I think we understand this, the fact that Microsoft, and this is why this whole acquisition made so much sense in the first place. Bethesda has a lineage with Microsoft that makes a ton of sense. They do their best work with Xbox as a console. And look, apologies if I'm going off the rails here, but to continue to directly address the title of the video, there is a chance that The Elder Scrolls 6 comes to PlayStation. I don't want to dismiss it as impossible by any means, They can make that decision at any time. The Elder Scrolls 6 is likely not coming out for, another 4 or 5 years, right? They can change their mind. Or, in this weird definition of legacy that we're overanalyzing here, Phil might think that counts. I definitely don't think it counts. I don't really think any logical reasoning could lead you to think that The Elder Scrolls has legacy on PlayStation consoles. But hey, I don't know. To 100% emphasize this point, I'd be very surprised. And I think my original prediction regarding this acquisition of those huge franchises related to Bethesda being exclusive is going to remain accurate. And naturally, that thought applies to Fallout. Starfield, there's even less chance of it coming to PlayStation because there's literally no lineage whatsoever. And I think that releasing on Xbox-only consoles makes the most sense in the world. There's no doubt how important exclusives and first-party IP are. We talk about it all the time with PlayStation and the series they have that continue to bring people back. Horizon now, God of War, Uncharted, The Last of Us, these crazy games. Xbox lacks that, and to be able to just take one from one of the most accomplished studios in the industry, Bethesda, hey, why not? Starfield is going to be totally synonymous with Xbox, I guarantee it. And then when you start reaching beyond Bethesda game studios and you start thinking about Doom, you start thinking about Wolfenstein, you start thinking about these other games that, sure, released on PlayStation that Bethesda have. Is there a legacy? I don't know, man. Oh, I really don't think so. I don't think there's a solid argument to be made. Phil specifically highlights the communities of players on other platforms, and they will continue to serve and support those communities. There's no Dishonored PlayStation community. There's no Doom PlayStation community, really. Those are single-player games, and Phil continues to emphasize how these games are all launching Day 1 Game Pass, and Game Pass is the big driver of this movement. Every Bethesda game is Game Pass Day 1. That's a big seller for that service. It doesn't make any sense for the next Doom, to release on PlayStation. And I know they've still got Doom Eternal DLC coming out and any expansions and shit. Same as the online games. They'll continue to do that on PlayStation, but new stuff, it'll be few and far between, I really believe that. So with all this wording that Phil Spencer's throwing out there, the legacy content, continuing to support communities that exist, the focus on Game Pass, these games releasing exclusively where Game Pass exists is the constant wording. With that, I think it's confirmed at this point that this Xbox Bethesda acquisition is as big, as industry shifting, will have as large of an impact as I originally anticipated. The thought of them, releasing the Elder Scrolls 6 Day 1 Game Pass, but don't worry, you can still buy it on PlayStation 5, that's cool, and obviously Game Pass is a more solid deal, there's no doubt. But it definitely reduces the impact of this acquisition in the first place. And the most obvious example of that, as someone who's an Elder Scrolls fan, as someone who's a BGS fan, dude, Starfield? That comes out, I still stand by, I made a previous video about it, go and check it out, that Starfield is coming out this year. I'm going to be there Day 1, I'm playing Starfield Day 1, and at this point, it absolutely looks like that's going to be on Game Pass. And look what Microsoft have done right there. They have done exactly what they should have done by purchasing Bethesda, and that's make someone like me, who hasn't owned an Xbox since the 360, I'm going to be playing on Game Pass. I don't know how yet, I've got no idea. I think it'd be cool if I can play it on my phone or something by that point, because I know that's something they've been working on. But I will definitely not be the only new member of the Xbox ecosystem because of this. Like I said, I know obviously Elder Scrolls is one of the biggest franchises in the industry, and a lot of people probably vaguely know of the Bethesda acquisition and its implications. Probably a lot of people don't even know anything about it. Skyrim sold over 20 million copies, I think, so it's a huge game, and I know so many people, millions of players out there are really interested in the Elder Scrolls 6 and interested in news and updates on it. If you're not fully following the industry in depth, dorks like me have got you covered, okay? Want to keep you updated, and just give you a heads up, probably a 4 or 5 years in advance heads up that the Elder Scrolls 6, you might want to get ready to buy an Xbox. You might want to get ready to sign up to Game Pass at some point, because that's a reality that's almost certain at this point, that if you want to check that game out, that's what you're going to have to do. Anyways, I've got to ask you to leave a comment because it helps the algorithm and stuff, so what should you comment? Will you be playing on Xbox just for a big franchise, a big Bethesda franchise like the Elder Scrolls? Let me know in the comments, or, I don't know, better yet, let me know when you think the Elder Scrolls 6 will actually be coming out. Correct answers only please, meaning your year has to be past 2030. Alright, I hope this wasn't terrible. I'll see you all next time, please do take care, and farewell.